If you click this video because you feel like you've been struggling with confidence, or maybe you've lost yourself, first of all, same. And second, I got you. If you're new here, my name is Koya. I'm a wife and mama on my own self-growth journey, and I would love for you to join me, so feel free to subscribe. The first obvious sign that I had a confidence issue was the negative self-talk. I would always tell myself stuff like, I'm always messing stuff up, or I'm not good enough, or why would anybody care about what I had to say? The more that you talk to yourself like this, eventually it becomes your reality, and over time, it wears on your self-worth, making it harder for you to believe in yourself, even when you're doing good on the outside. Fear of failure was one I didn't even know was a sign of low self-confidence. I thought I was just protecting myself or being realistic. I wouldn't apply for opportunities unless I was 100% sure that I would get the position. Or I would avoid risk even when I really wanted to do that thing. And the main one was procrastinating, because I wanted everything to be perfect. Fear of failure is basically telling yourself that you don't trust yourself to handle failure or to bounce back from it. You letting potential embarrassment hold you back. Fear of failure is a sneaky one, and I didn't even realize how big of an issue this was for me until I started doing the inner work. I would people please because I just didn't like myself enough. I would overextend, over apologize, and over accommodate just to feel accepted. This would look like me saying yes when I really wanted to say no, me being afraid to disappoint or disagree with somebody, and changing who I was depending on who I was around. This drains your energy because you care more about what other people think than what you think. You lose yourself because you're not being true to you. You being somebody else to please other people. So now you start to lose trust in your own voice, in your own needs, and in your own boundaries. That validation feels good for a moment, but trust me, it fades fast. Comparison is a thief of joy and confidence, and it's so much harder to overcome it now since we have social media. Because I was watching everybody's life, I would often feel like everybody was ahead of me. I would start to judge my progress, my lifestyle, and my body against other people's. And I would downplay my wins because they didn't look like theirs. If you struggle with comparison, then you probably believe that you're not doing enough, that you behind, or you just not doing the right things in life. And this really chips away at your ability to celebrate you and your wins. I'm not gonna lie, I still struggle with comparison, but this journey is not about never comparing. It's about learning to catch it and redirect it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. If you constantly second guess a text message, an email, or a conversation that you're about to have, and I'm talking about rereading that message 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times before sending it, worrying about how that person will interpret it, and editing yourself constantly out of fear of judgment, then that's probably a sign of low self-confidence. And this is another one of those ones that I didn't know was a sign of low confidence either. This shows a lack of self-trust. It shows that you don't feel confident that your voice or your thoughts are good enough. So then what do? You rely on overthinking instead of your intuition or authenticity. Shrinking in conversations was one I didn't even realize I was doing. I would stay quiet even when I had something to say. I wouldn't voice my opinions or my boundaries, and I would just laugh out uncomfortable things just to keep the peace. If you do this, then you basically telling yourself that your thoughts don't matter as much. And then you start to believe that your presence isn't valuable. Doing all of this made me feel like I was not myself, like I was not truly me. And girl, confidence thrives off authenticity. So this video is not about faking confidence. It's about being confident for real and remembering who you already are. Research says that most people, even the ones who look confident, doubt themselves at least once a day. This might be looking in a mirror, or before stepping into a room, or before sending a text message. But this is normal. Some of the strongest women question, shrink, and overthink because confidence is not permanent. It's a journey. And just like with all journeys, it has its highs and its lows. I used to think that certain people were gifted with confidence, but none of us are born confident. It's something that we have to build, just like any other skill, piece by piece. And yeah, some days we got to start from scratch, but hey, that's part of the journey. In this video, we're going to talk about some simple and doable confidence boosters that actually work, especially when you're feeling low. Let's start with how we talk to ourselves. I used to criticize myself so bad without even realizing it. If I didn't get something right the first time or the first couple times, I would quit and say stuff like, I'm never going to be able to do that or get better, or I'm never going to hit that goal because it's too hard, or I'm not good enough or smart enough. I would constantly replay conversations in my head and think, why did I say that? They probably think I'm dumb. I would look in the mirror and instantly notice all of my flaws. And my most common thoughts were, my forehead is big. I don't like it. I'm never gonna get rid of this acne. I'm not pretty. I'm ugly. I'm really embarrassed to say this one, but I used to think maybe I would look better as a boy. Like, I really used to avoid looking in mirrors. I would walk in the bathroom making sure I kept my head straight, not to turn towards the mirror. And when I was washing my hands, I made sure to keep my head down the entire time because I didn't want to see my face. And now that I think back on that, my confidence and my self-esteem was so low. It's crazy to think about it now. So I encourage you to challenge those negative thoughts. That voice in your head is probably speaking from past traumas, but that don't make those things true. What if that voice in your head is just scared? And reframe those thoughts. If one of your thoughts is, I'm not good enough, maybe instead say, I'm learning and I'm growing, because that's a true statement. If you thinking to yourself, I'm ugly, instead say to yourself, I'm learning to love myself just the way I am, flaws and all. And do some mirror talk. Look in the mirror and say, girl, you are so beautiful. My presence is valuable and what I have to say is valuable. And I get it if this feels a little weird at first. Instead, just try saying your affirmations out loud without looking in the mirror. And when you get comfortable enough with that, try that mirror talk. It definitely works. Writing has helped me see myself so much more clearly. Like, sometimes our minds are so cluttered with what we not doing and what we not good at that we start to forget what we've done, what we've accomplished, the things that we've survived, and what we've built. So here's something simple that I do. And you can do this in your phone or in a notebook. And that's just to write 3 to 5 things that you love about yourself or some things that you've accomplished. And girl, don't overthink it, okay? It could be like, I started my business. I've been showing up even when I didn't feel like it. I'm choosing to spend this time on myself by watching this video and doing the work. The reason that this one matters is because when you write stuff down, it hits different. It gets real. It's not just a passing thought. Like, this is actual proof that you're doing more than what you think. And something that really helps me is keeping a note in the Notes app on my phone, or you can use a little sticky note with what I call confidence wins. You know, those little moments when you feel proud of yourself. And this could be showing up for yourself, getting dressed, speaking up in a conversation, or just not second guessing a text message. Start collecting those wins, because when the doubt creeps in, and it will, you'll have something solid to come back to remind you that I've done it before and I can do it again. You have to detach from the outcome. And this one really changed my life, because for the longest time, I was tying my confidence to numbers. And this would be views, likes, or how many compliments I got. And really anything that validate what I was doing. I would post something that I worked hard on and maybe get like 3 likes and no comments or feedback. And in my head, this was telling me that I wasn't good enough or nobody cared about what I was doing. Like, girl, this really crushed my soul. I would think, like, why am I even doing this? What's the point? I would start to second guess if I should even keep showing up. But what we don't realize is that confidence can't come from results, because results are outside of your control. And honestly, this was a hard pill to swallow, but I'm learning to shift my focus. So now I remind myself, did I try? Did I show up? Did I do what I said I would do? Because if I did, that's the real win. That's what builds confidence. Not the outcome, not the applause. It's just the fact that I'm doing the work. And I wanted to remind you that confidence comes from doing, not from winning. So the next time you do something or you try something and it don't perform the way you wanted it to, then remind yourself that I showed up and that's enough. And then do it again. This one is simple, but powerful. Like, this is one of those things that can change how you feel almost instantly. And that's listening to music. Music is literally a cheat code. So create a That Girl playlist. And this is a playlist full of songs that makes you feel like that girl. I haven't done this one yet, but I do plan to. But I do know which artist to play to make me feel like her again. And Beyonce is one of them. Like, I could be in the worst mood, but when that one song comes on, oh girl, the whole energy shifts. And I can't even sing, but when my song comes on, you can't tell me I'm not the lead singer in my life in that moment. These little moments matter. Whether it's dancing, taking a quick walk with your headphones on, or singing your heart out in the mirror like I like to do sometimes. Either way, it's about doing something that snaps you out of self-doubt and back into self-love. Confidence isn't always built in the deep, heavy moments. Sometimes it's in the small, joyful ones too. So if you start to feel like you're not feeling like yourself, then ask yourself, what is that one thing that always lifts me up? And go do it. And drop your go-to confidence song or artist in the comments. I want to hear what y'all are listening to, because I do plan on creating this playlist. And I'm going to need some songs to add to it. And remember, you don't have to wait to feel confident. Sometimes you just got to create the mood that brings it out of you. The next confident booster is picturing the most confident you. This is one of my favorite confidence resets because it's powerful and it works fast. Sometimes we need a reminder of who we really are, and visualization helps with this. So try this. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Unless you're driving or something, safety first. But close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine the most confident version of yourself. She walks into a room and doesn't shrink. She makes eye contact. She speaks up, and she smiles with ease. She feels proud, grounded, and beautiful inside and out. What is she wearing? How does she walk? What kind of energy does she carry? And how does she treat herself? Picture her in a moment where she's completely in her power. Now hold that image. That version of you, that's already you. She's not somebody that you have to become. She's somebody that you have to reconnect with. Every time I do this, my whole mood shifts. So the next time you feeling off, take a minute and close your eyes and reconnect with her. Let her lead. All right, so these next few things might seem simple, but they actually work. I used to think that little things like this didn't make a difference. Like, how is standing up straight gonna help how I feel about myself? But when I actually started doing these things consistently, I realized that these small moves do add up. So I wanna walk you through a few that you can do anytime, anywhere. Let's start with posture. So whenever you have a chance, sit or stand tall for just a second. Pull your shoulders back and lift your chin. You probably feel it. It makes you feel powerful because posture affects mindset. This is one of those things that I thought was exaggerated until I started doing it. So try it and see if it works for you. It's such a simple shift, but it tells your brain that I'm in control. I got this. Next, write down 3 small wins, and it don't have to be deep. You did your hair today, that counts. You posted the content, you showed up when you didn't feel like it. All of those are wins. The more you notice what you are doing, the more confident you'll feel. Give yourself some credit. It really matters. Breathe with purpose. This is one that I do often, and you can try it right now. So inhale for 4, hold it, now exhale for 5. Try this a couple of times. For me, it calms my mind and brings me back to the present. And honestly, when you're not overthinking, you feel way more confident. Now, this one might feel awkward, but do it anyway. Say one thing you love about yourself. Say it out loud. I'll give you a second. So mine today is that I love how consistent I've been, even on hard days. Now, what's yours? And say it like you mean it. Because if you wouldn't be talking down to a friend, then you shouldn't be talking down to yourself either. And last one, do one thing that scares you today. And it don't have to be big. Maybe it's sending a DM or recording a video Whatever it is, take the first step. And fun fact, confidence builds when you actually do the thing before you feel ready. Again, I used to brush these things off, but the more I did them, the more I realized that they actually work. These are quick, free, and you can use them anytime you need a boost. Start small and watch the changes. This video wouldn't be complete if I didn't talk about this. You don't need outside validation. For a long time, I didn't feel confident unless somebody told me I was doing a good job. I used to thrive off compliments and praise, but now I clap for me. And don't get me wrong, encouragement is beautiful and we all need support sometimes. But there's a difference between being supported and being dependent on support. And me, I was the dependent one. But confidence, real confidence, comes from you. It's built from the inside out. You are allowed to validate yourself. And let this be your reminder that you enough, your effort matters, and your voice counts, even if you're the first one to hear it. Confidence also looks like knowing when to rest. I'm gonna talk to the woman who's always on go mode, always doing everything for everybody else, checking all the boxes, and pushing through even when you're running on fumes. If that's you, I need you to hear this. Rest is not weakness. And slowing down don't mean that you're falling behind. Sometimes the most confident thing that you can do is take a nap, log off, or simply say, I'm done for today. Girl, burnout is not a badge of honor. It's a sign that something needs to change. We live in a culture that tells us that we have to earn our worth by staying busy. But your value is not tied to how much you produce, because you are worthy of rest, of softness, and of silence. You don't have to hustle for your place in the world because you already have one. So if your body is tired and your mind feels heavy, then pause, breathe, and refill your own cup. And if you needed another reminder, I'm here to remind you that confidence is a daily practice, not a one-time thing. It's not something reserved for certain people. It's something that you build brick by brick. Some days it'll feel strong, and other days not so much. And that's okay. Just keep showing up for yourself. Keep talking to yourself with love, and keep doing the small things that make you feel good. If this helped you at all, don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with somebody it could help too.